Well, the President has announced just a short while ago that public schools will have a month break to get us through the worst of the peak of the pandemic. And, of course, also a big clampdown on any corruption during this time of COVID-19. Let's get some reaction to that speech from ANC spokesperson Pule Mabe. Good evening, Mr. Mabe. Now, the President announcing a short while ago he signed a special proclamation to allow the SIU to investigate any contract and tender issue relating to COVID-19 irregularities. Does the ANC support the immediate suspension of any of its members under suspicion for any COVID irregularities?
Evening to your viewers. We do welcome the measures announced by the President, including the proclamation that has already been gazetted and it's out there. This really shows the commitment of our government to be able to deal with instances of corruption and or misuse of public funds, but to also reassure the rest of society that that where there are lapses in the system, those involved in such lapses should be exposed, because half the time it comes across as though it's politicians here doing this or that, but you'll find that when things are actually being done and with what has been exposed, that it also turns out to be those that are really involved in the procuring of some of these goods and services.
I hear you, and I think that it is a time for firm and clear action. Of course, politicians should lead and lead by example. And do you think it is important that any suspicion at all of any of your members, there should be a suspension and not a waiting to see what happens, which could take years and months? Do you think that you should be leading by example in that way?
Well, action has got to be taken where there are signs of wrongdoing. It doesn't matter whether it's a member, leader or non-member of the ANC. Anyone and everyone involved in the conduct that gives our country a bad name should be acted upon. You know, people have got to begin seeing actions, because we need to make sure that the limited resources that are available are properly invested towards helping government respond effectively in the fight against COVID-19.
And while I have you, Mr. Mabe, I just want to get the very latest information. We're obviously very concerned. There are a number of politicians who are quite ill, some of them battling COVID-19, others we're not too sure. But I just want to know, what is the status of Minister Gwede Mantashe this evening? We know he's in hospital. How is he?
Well, he's doing quite well. We had issued a statement earlier as the ANC really refuting malicious rumors that were spreading on social media suggesting that he has passed on. He was in a conversation today with the Deputy Secretary General, giving an update on his health, and we are quite happy with the fact that he is recovering well. We are looking forward to having him coming back and discharging his responsibilities as the national chairperson of the African National Congress.
Oh, it's great to hear he's on the mend. And how is Minister Thulas Nxesi also in hospital?
Well, all of them, all the reports that we've been getting is that our comrades are recovering well. You would also have noted, the Premier of Gauteng.
Yes, he's got better now.
Work.
Yes, that's good to hear.
He's back at work, and he has hit the ground running, began discharging his responsibilities on the fight against COVID-19. And we are quite excited. We are happy that our comrades are showing the kind of resilience needed to be able to motivate the rest of the country.
I have to ask you about...
What this means is that if all of us follow the necessary health protocols, do all of the things that we are being requested to do, we will be able to emerge victorious over this pandemic.
And Mr. Mabe, can I ask you about the health of the Deputy President? It is not clear if he has COVID-19 or for something else that he's ill with, but could you update us on how he is doing tonight?
Well, I don't have any update there, but if there are any other updates that we have, we will be able to communicate. But I know that the officials are engaging each other from time to time, giving one another updates in that way. And it looks like all of them are doing quite well. They are virtually talking about the work of the organization and how the ANC need to be responding to all of the challenges to give President Ramaphosa and the National Coronavirus Command Council the necessary support.
And just finally, we heard a little earlier this evening that Andrew Mlangeni is to receive an official funeral, but we're not sure how that's going to work because there are very clear regulations around funerals under lockdown. Do you have any more details that you're able to share with us at this point?
Well, this afternoon, the Secretary General of the African National Congress, Comrade Dace Makashule, had convened all of us together with the Mlangeni family into a virtual meeting to plan for the memorial services, which is going to be the program of the ANC that kickstarts tomorrow through a reflection that will be done by President Jacob Zuma. We know President Jacob Zuma was with Babu Mlangeni at the island back in the 60s. So he will give that kind of a reflection. On Saturday, we will have a virtual condolence session together with the Mlangeni family. On Sunday, there will be an ANC memorial service, which will also be taking place on our virtual platforms. So from then on, we'll also be updating on the funeral arrangements. Of course, there's going to be strict adherence to the regulations. Of course, the state is taking charge of the funeral. The African National Congress is working closely with the family on all the programs that they've got to do with the memorial services, the reflections, and the condolences. We also have got a virtual platform of the ANC, ancmemorial.org.za, which will give all our members, supporters, and the rest of members of society an opportunity to deposit their tribute. We make sure that it comes up live tomorrow with the bios of Istalando Siaparankwe and Andrew Mlangeni.
Thank you so much for updating us. That's ANC spokesperson Pule Mabe.